Hi everyone, and welcome back to Easy Cooking with Linda B. Today I'm going to make a kale soup. It's that time of year, it's cooling down, and soup is so warming and comforting, and I want to show you how I make mine. So for this recipe, what I'm using is one chicken sausage link, and I'm using garlic. I have 3 cloves chopped or minced. And then I have onions, celery, and carrots. I have 3 carrots, 3 stalks of celery, and a half of a large onion here. I also have 1 large potato that has been cubed, small cubes. And instead of putting in white beans, which is traditional for a kale soup, I'm going to put in chickpeas, a little bit of salt and pepper, and 2 containers of unsalted vegetable stock, and a large bunch of kale that has been chopped, and some olive oil. Now I'm going to show you how I put it all together. So the first thing I want to do is, to my large pot, I want to add some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that. And it is heating right now on like a low, medium low. And now I'm going to take my chicken sausage. I don't want the casing on it, so I'm going to make a little slice here. And then I'm just going to pull off small pieces like that. And I'm going to get them cooking in my pot. You want to make sure your pot's hot. Okay, I have all my sausage, that 1 link broken up in my pan, and I'm cooking it down. I want to get the rawness out of this. It will cook thoroughly as we add all the other ingredients. So my pan is a little dry. I want to add just a little more oil. Always start out with a smaller amount of oil, and then you could add to it as you go along. Okay, now that looks pretty good. Get that, he doesn't want to release. There. Okay, now what I'm going to add next is my carrots, celery, and my onions. Get these cooking together. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Because remember, I'm going to be using unsalted vegetable stock, so I can actually have the best control over how much salt I put in my soup here. So I'm going to give this a good stir, and I'm going to let this cook probably for about 5-6 minutes before I add the garlic. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so the vegetables along with the chicken sausage has been cooking for about 10 minutes. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 3 cloves of garlic. Stir them well into the pan. I'm going to increase my heat just a little bit to a medium. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let the garlic cook probably for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll go on to the next ingredient. All right, now this has been cooking for 4 to 5 minutes. You can see the pan is getting a little dry. So I'm going to now add my chickpeas. This was 1 can of chickpeas. And then I'm going to add in my kale. It looks like a lot, but remember, kale is the star of the show. So I'm going to get this wilted down, and then I will add my vegetable stock. All right, now as you can see, the kale has really wilted down. Our star is diminishing here, but it's going to taste amazing. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add my potatoes. And I'm going to stir them in. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So fresh. I have to use the word healthy. This is a very healthy soup. And now I'm going to add in my vegetable stock. Shake it well. And I want to show you a neat trick I learned from my sweet friend Karen, from Karen Jones from Food and Family. Instead of pouring it in this way, see how it blurps, and sometimes it'll shoot right out over your pan. You take your container and twist it the other way, and look how free-flowing that is. So I'm going to go ahead and I will add the next container, and then I'm going to cover my soup and I'm going to let it cook probably for about 15 minutes, but I'm going to stir along the way, and then I'll come back to you at that point. Okay, now the kale soup has been simmering for about 20 minutes, and what I'm going to do is taste it for seasoning. Oh, here we go. Hot soup doesn't bother me. Oh, that tastes really good. I'm picking up the sweet from the carrots and the flavors from the chicken. I'm going to add just a little bit of pepper. I think I've got enough salt in there. And I'm going to add one more ingredient, which is completely optional. And that is Tabasco sauce. So I want a little bit of heat in this. So you shake it well. Remember, a few drops go a long way. I'm adding it at this point because I know the kale is not ready. And I don't want the Tabasco sauce to have that heat when you first take a sip of your soup. I want it to come at the back end. So I'm going to add it now. I think I added probably about 4 drops, 5 drops maybe, and I'm stirring this. I will cover it and let it finish cooking until the kale's tender, and I'm going to say probably for about another 15 minutes. Okay, now this kale soup has been cooking for about another 30 minutes, only because I need the kale to get soft. Right now it has a slight crunch, but it's still very good like that. So now I'm going to serve this up. While I'm serving this up, I want to tell you about a new YouTube friend of mine. Her name is Glow. She's with Glow's Kindred Kitchen. I swear she's like my sister. We both have similar styles of cooking and food, and she's just absolutely wonderful. She has some great ideas and tips. Check her channel out. I'll list her link below so you could stop in and say hello to her. So now I've got my bowl full here. And I'm going to turn my soup off now because it is hot. I'm going to throw cover on it. Now, how I like to finish my soup is I like to add a little bit of oil on the top and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You could use whatever cheese you like in your soup. Now it's time to taste this. The broth is outstanding. Carrots are tender. Now going in for the kale. A little bit of a crunch. It has wonderful flavor. Give the soup a try. I know you'll enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video and me making this beautiful kale soup. It really is delicious. And the nice thing about this soup too is you don't have to babysit it. You could walk away, let it cook or simmer, walk away from it, do your chores, whatever you have to do, and then it'll be done before you know it. So remember, enjoy life and never stop learning. Bye now.